All right, happy Monday morning, everybody. How are you today? Last Monday, I was in Mexico, so we didn't have a Member Monday spotlight because I was camping in Puerto Penasca. So it was out there with the beach. It was so much fun. And that was our 4th of July holiday weekend. I was celebrating my freedoms as an entrepreneur, as well as our freedoms in America. And this week, it's a full week. So I have Sophia McMorris with me today, one of our VIP members. Sophia, welcome to Member Monday Spotlight.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're so welcome. So, for those of you that don't know what we're doing, every Monday, mostly every Monday, unless it's a holiday, I bring one of our VIP members forward and we talk to them about what they do, what they're promoting. But most of all, they give us some great tips and things for us to take away in this very short online interview that we do called Member Monday Spotlight. And today we're talking all about self mastery, one of my favorite subjects. Sophia, why is self mastery so important?
Because it helps you to deal with your emotions, your thoughts, your feelings, your habits, your behaviors. It helps you with everything in your life and taking care of that and helping you take control and really living that life that you love. So that's why it's so important, because those are aspects of ourselves that we consistently need to have ongoing improvements on, because we have different discoveries about ourselves all the time. And so we have to be able to adjust and then move forward.
Yeah, I agree. So self mastery is giving yourself permission, wouldn't you say?
Yes,
So it's
yes,
giving yourself permission to be in control. And believe it or not, there's so many times in our life we give away control to other people. And I'll just mention a small one that a lot of people do, which is allowing other people to take their time. Right. So
yes.
instead of controlling and setting boundaries around your time and when you talk to people and how you talk to people and the conversations that you have, many of us in some time, some phase as an entrepreneur have allowed others to step over those boundaries. So talk to us about, Sophia, talk to us about a time in your life when you utilize self-mastery and how it's completely just evolved your life.
Well, my first journey into self mastery, or how I even discovered it, was when I struggled with my weight. And this was key for me in that I had to learn all the communications, what the things I was saying to myself. And I think we don't think about that often enough, is that we have thoughts, we have that inner critic, we have all of these things going on within us, and we don't listen to how we're talking to ourselves. And I had to discover that I needed to be my friend instead of my enemy. And so that's my first journey into self mastery, and some of the things that I practice to help myself move forward.
Yeah, we talk to ourselves so
Yes.
negatively. I did an exercise one time at one of our Lead Up for Women sanctuaries that we do. And I had everyone write down all the negative things that they say to themselves on a daily basis. So they were just writing them all down. And I paired everyone up and said, now you have to tell those things to the other person across from you as if you're talking directly to them. Everything on your list, you need to say to them. And tears just bursted out in like they had a really hard time saying all those negative things and kept saying to the other person, I'm sorry. And I said, you can't say you're sorry because this is the way you speak to yourself every day. And it really became apparent to everyone how horrible we treat our own selves. And this is why self mastery is the subject that we're talking about today, right, Sophia?
Yes. I mean, I think there are ways that we talk to ourselves and punish ourselves, even
Mm.
when we do things wrong, or we make a mistake, or, if one of the things is like, we eat certain foods, or we have a moment where we eat the brownie or the brownie pie, the whole pie. And then we beat ourselves up. We're like, oh my God, you shouldn't have done that. Now you're going to be punished. You're going to eat an apple and drink water for the rest of the week because you made this mistake. And I think we have to be able to step into that space of accepting what has happened, recognize that it is the past, because even if you just got done eating the brownie pie, it's the past. You're done. And make that decision to forgive yourself for what you've done and move forward.
Yeah.
I think that acceptance and forgiveness is so important in really as a part of self-mastery, because you can get stuck. And I see a lot of people getting stuck in that place where, they realize something about themselves. They become aware of the self-talk, and the negativity of it, or that they're not their own friends. And then they get stuck there. And instead of getting stuck, I recommend you accept yourself real quick. You just say, okay, this is it. This is the reality. This is the truth. And forgive yourself. And then take that next step to start moving forward. You can't change what you don't know. And so when you're aware, it's really an important opportunity at that time to live in the moment, to stay in the present moment, and then move forward.
Yeah, I completely agree. And the why behind that is because when we were children growing up, if there was a consequence for something we did wrong, we generally got punished. If everyone
Yeah.
remembers that, you would get grounded, or maybe you got smacked on the hand or in the butt, or, some of us, like me growing up, it was a little bit more, got a little bit more beat than normal because I lived with an abusive father. But think about all the times where you were grounded or punished, or things that happen for everything that you did wrong, right?
Yeah.
So now, because we have the freedom now as an adult, and we don't have another adult over us grounding us for those things, we take those habits from when we were a child,
Yeah.
and then we apply them to our own lives, and we
Yes.
punish ourselves. And that's really not a healthy relationship with yourself. And if we're talking about self mastery, you need to be able to master yourself first before you can master anything else, meaning before you can master a healthy relationship, before you can master being a great mom, before we can master being a great business owner.
Exactly.
We've got to step aside. I'm not going to say step back, because we don't want to go backwards, but we need to step to the side and look at it from a different perspective. And what are some tips, would you say, Sophia, on things that we can start today, like in this moment? A woman that's listening right now to this video, what one or two things can she start today to master self mastery?
Well, thank you. I wanted to just address one little small thing that you
Oh
said.
yeah.
So, part of it is we live 95% of our lives in the subconscious, in that comfort zone, in that autopilot. And so all of those programs from the past when we were children are still what we live by. And
Mhm.
so you have to think to yourself that it's no coincidence that you go back to it all the time, that is the behavior repeat. You have to be active, and take an active opportunity to change the things that you want changed and approach yourself differently moving forward. So a tip that I would have for a woman going through this right now would be, the first thing is to accept yourself.
Mhm.
And then when you accept yourself, then you recognize how you can start moving yourself forward, and also create a plan. I think that would be another key, that you would create a plan, and then in that plan write down what you really want. Who do you really want to be? And then start going from there. What do you really want to accomplish? And then when you create your plan, then really develop an opportunity to see how you can close the gap between what you're aware of now and where you want to be. And then find that bridge. And that's going to take some discipline, perseverance, some habit change, and all of those things going forward. But it's possible for us to rewrite our story and then live the life we want.
Yeah, the past is the past, but
Yeah.
our brains are wired from birth. We
Hmm.
all come out exactly the same. And then we're wired based on our surroundings, our experiences, our parents, our brothers, our sisters, our aunts, our uncles, every experience that we have around us is how we're wired. And so that is what you've known forever.
Right.
The only way
Yeah.
to undo that is to apply self mastery of rewiring for how you want to think today. So
Right.
if you were raised in a family, let's say, that was extremely negative all the time, and it's all you've ever known, then you being negative is just a normalcy for you. Then
Right.
you get around people that are positive and they're like, wow, why are you so negative? And you're like, I'm not negative. And they're like, yeah, you are, but you didn't know you were different, right? Because
Right.
you just
Right.
thought that was quote unquote normal.
Right.
So you
Right.
would have to rewire, just like building a muscle at the gym, right? You have to
Right.
flex it every day. So every day you would need to go and focus on positivity, positivity, positivity over and over and over again until that becomes the normal habit.
Right.
And it's just
Exactly.
recreating those.
Right.
Yeah.
So definitely, because that 5% that of our lives where we think consciously, that's the what we want. And like that would be the changing and being positive and everything. But if you don't do things like self-discovery, self-awareness, recognizing you have a choice to be different,
Yeah.
and then making that decision to be different, then you stay, only having like the 5% of what you want, but the 95% is not in support of that. And so you have to get that 95% to be in support of the 5% of what you want. That way you can be aligned and live that fulfilling life.
Yeah, absolutely. 1000% agree on that, Sophia. So the tips we have for you today are: accept yourself. Number one, exactly the way you are. Accept
Yes.
yourself, because that's the only way you're going to be able to change. You can't beat yourself up. You've just got to accept who you are and where you're at. Create a plan. I say it all the time. You throw a boat in a harbor and go to drive without a course, it's never going to reach its destination. It's just going to be out in la la land forever, and the
Exactly.
boat's probably going to wind up sinking in a storm somewhere, or get stuck in a triangle. But if you were to, chart a course, then you'll reach your destination. So create a plan. What are you going to do every single day to add some self mastery to your world? And then the last tip was closing the gap by finding the bridge. What is that bridge for you? Is it reading? Is it writing? Is it surrounding yourself with positive people that fuel your success? What is it that you need? Accountability, that could be a great bridge. What are those bridges that you need? And I know Sophia is a great resource for this. Sophia, tell our listeners quickly what it is that you do and how you help women accept themselves, create a plan, and close that gap.
Well, I'm known as the go-to executive wisdom mentor. And so I help women and men, I help everybody.
Oh, I didn't know you worked with men too. I think that's fabulous. Yeah.
I help people in general to master and take control of their lives. Um, I specialize in helping people overcome anxiety that they may experience during, the process of realizing the truth about who they are. And I help them to be who they want to be, prioritize, and give themselves that gift of permission to say what they really want and need, and to live life on their terms and drive their own personal destinies.
Mm.
And so a way to get in contact with me if you're interested in, picking up my free offer or anything like that, or to just book a call, just to have a conversation. I would love to be able to chat with you. So you can go to sophiaspeakswisdom.com, and that is Sophia with an E. So we have to specifically say that because my name's spelled a little different.
Yeah, and we'll have the links below in the comment section. So if you're watching this right now, we'll have the links below, so you can go ahead and click on those links that Sophia is going to put in the comment section, so you guys can reach out to her and book a complimentary call with her, and maybe just getting it out in verbal. I'm going to challenge all of you to book a call with her so you can verbally get it out, and even share below in the comment section, where are you struggling right now? Where do you need self mastery? I need self mastery in the area of exercise, which is, everyone's probably laughing at this point because I've been a personal trainer at my black belt. So being physically active as a marathon runner has been part of my whole life. And building these businesses in the last few years, I've really backed out a lot on my self care for working out, and I put it aside. So my commitment to Sophia is that I'm going to start working out on a regular basis and putting that in front of work. because it's important. If we're not physically healthy and we're not healthy and our mindset isn't healthy, then how can we lead others? So we need to make sure that we take care of ourselves.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Sophia, thank you for being with us today. It was so great to have this opportunity to chat with you on our Member Monday Spotlight. And for all of you that would love to have your own Member Monday Spotlight, if you're a member, please reach out to me at info@leadupforwomen.com. We'll get you that link right away for you to book your member spotlight. If you're not a member, we'll put the link below for you to be able to join as a member. So Sophia, again, thank you so much for being with us today. It was such a pleasure. And I always enjoy having you around in the community.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you.
You're
I
so
really
welcome.
appreciate that.
All right, everyone. Bye-bye. Have a wonderful week.
Have a great day.
Mastery. Accept yourself. You've got this. Let's do it.
Yes,
All right.
yes.
All right. Bye-bye, everybody.